Good morning all. Today I am going to explain you the topic that is human respiratory system. Human respiratory system is the organ system that involves in the inhaling of oxygen and exhaling of carbon dioxide to meet the energy requirements. Human respiratory system consists of certain organs responsible for respiration. The main organs of this system are nose, nasal passage, trachea, which is commonly known as windpipe, bronchi, lungs, and diaphragm. The human respiratory system begins from the nose. The air enters through the nose and then it goes to the nasal passage. The nasal passage is lined with the fine hair and mucus. When air passes through the nasal passage, the dust particle and other impurities present in it are trapped by nasal hair and mucus so that the clean air goes into the lungs. So I think you understood what is the function of fine hair and mucus in the nasal passage. Yes, they purify the air. Then there is a part present between the mouth and windpipe, and this is known as pharynx. From the nasal passage, air enters into the pharynx and then goes into the windpipe. Windpipe or trachea contains cartilaginous rings, and these rings prevent the trachea to collapse. When there is no air in it, then also the trachea does not collapse due to the rings of cartilage. The trachea runs down the neck and divides into the two smaller tubes called bronchi. These bronchi are connected to the lungs. The lungs are the two spongy organs present in the chest cavity or thoracic cavity. Two lungs, right and left. Out of that, our left lung is little bit smaller than the right, as our heart is located to the left side. Each bronchus divide in the lungs to form a large number of smaller tubes called bronchioles. At the end of each bronchioles, there is a balloon-like structure called alveoli. Alveoli is a thin membrane structure and provides a surface for exchange of gases. It is surrounded by blood vessels, and here the exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen take place. Now the next topic is mechanism of respiration. Respiration involves breathing and cellular respiration. Breathing has two steps, inhalation and exhalation, and it is controlled by diaphragm movement. When we breathe in, we lift our ribs and flatten our diaphragm, and the chest cavity becomes larger. As a result, the air entered into the lungs and fills the expanded alveoli. This is called inhalation. Inhalation means taking the oxygen-rich air into the body. The alveoli are surrounded by the thin blood vessels called blood capillaries. The oxygen of air diffuses out from the alveoli into the blood. This oxygen is carried by the hemoglobin present in blood to all the cells. In the cells, oxygen combined with the digested food, or we can say the oxidation of the food occurs and release the energy. During this process, the carbon dioxide gas is also produced, and it is a waste product for our body. This carbon dioxide diffuses into the blood. As carbon dioxide is more soluble in water than oxygen, hence it is mostly transported in the dissolved form in our blood, while oxygen is carried by the hemoglobin. This blood carries the carbon dioxide back to the lungs where it diffuses into the alveoli. When we breathe out air, the diaphragm and muscles attached to the ribs relax, due to which our chest cavity contracts and becomes smaller. This contraction movement of the chest pushes out carbon dioxide from alveoli into the trachea, nostril, and then out of the body into air. And this is called exhalation. Exhalation means removal of the air rich in carbon dioxide. One important point I want to discuss with you, that during the breathing cycle, when air is taken in and let out, the lungs always contain a residual volume of air so that there is sufficient time for oxygen to be absorbed and for the carbon dioxide to be released. And due to this residual volume of the air, our lungs do not collapse. So students, our topic of respiration over today, and in my next class we will go for transportation.